The fog rolled in like a tide, swallowing the quaint village of Northwood Hole. Hannah, bundled in a threadbare coat, squinted through the swirling mist. Beside her, Raymond, his weathered face etched with worry, gripped a rusty lantern. "Shouldn't have waited this late," he mumbled, his voice swallowed by the oppressive silence. Hannah, her breath puffing out in white clouds, forced a smile. "Just visiting father a bit longer," she said, her voice barely audible. They continued down the cobblestone path, the fog clinging to them like a spectral shroud. The gaslights, usually casting a warm glow, flickered eerily, their flames dancing in the wind. Every rustle of leaves, every creak of a weathered signpost sent shivers down Hannah's spine. Northwood, once a vibrant community, had become shrouded in fear. An unsettling darkness had descended upon the village a month ago, following the disappearance of young Emily, Hannah's childhood friend. Search parties had returned empty-handed, whispers of unseen figures and chilling howls echoing through the fog-filled nights. They reached the outskirts of the village, the path leading towards the abandoned windmill that marked the edge of Kenwood. Father lived alone in a small cottage nearby, a stubborn man refusing to leave his ancestral home. "Are you sure about this, Hannah?" Raymond asked, his voice barely a whisper. Hannah's heart pounded like a drum. "I have to see him. Raymond. It's been weeks." They reached the cottage. The windows were dark, an unsettling absence of the warm glow that usually emanated from his fireplace. Hannah knocked, the sound dull against the weathered wood. No answer. Panic clawed at Hannah. She rattled the doorknob, the rusty lock groaning in protest. The door creaked open, revealing an empty room. Dust motes danced in the faint lantern light, furniture covered in white sheets. "Father?" Hannah called out, her voice echoing in the stillness. Silence. "Maybe he's in the back," Raymond suggested, his voice laced with unease. They ventured out into the garden, the fog swirling around them, muffling their footsteps. The air hung heavy, the silence broken only by the mournful hoot of an owl. Suddenly, a flicker of movement in the corner of her eye. Hannah spun around, the lantern light revealing a dark shape lurking by the dilapidated well. It darted back into the swirling fog. "Did you see that?" Hannah whispered, her hand trembling. Raymond squinted into the mist. "Just the fog playing tricks." But his voice lacked conviction, a primal fear gripped Hannah. The whispers, the disappearances, it all seemed terrifyingly real now. "We should go," she said, her voice tight with fear. They turned to leave, but the path back seemed to have vanished. The fog had thickened, turning their surroundings into an unsettling maze. The gaslights had all gone out, plunging them into an inky blackness. Panic surged through Hannah. She stumbled, grabbing Raymond's arm. "We're lost," a low, guttural growl echoed through the fog, sending chills down their spines. The shadows seemed to writhe and twist, taking on monstrous shapes. Shapes with glowing eyes that watched them from the swirling mist. "Run!" Raymond yelled, his voice hoarse. They plunged deeper into the fog, the growls growing closer, punctuated by the rasp of unseen claws against the damp earth. Hannah tripped. Scraping her knee, the sound amplified in the oppressive silence. A cold hand clamped over her mouth, stifling her scream. A raspy voice, low and menacing, whispered in her ear, "Welcome to the shadows, Hannah." Terror choked Hannah. She thrashed, but a powerful grip held her fast. Raymond's desperate struggle was cut short by a sickening thud. Then, silence. The shadows closed in, the fog swirling around her, as Hannah's scream died unheard in the night.